Hi everyone, welcome back to the third lesson of Z School. Due to popular demand, this lesson will be about team fighting. Before we begin, I just need to clarify something. There is no definitive formula for every team fight, because every team fight is different. Sometimes you need to peel, sometimes you need to kill the tanks, sometimes you need to initiate, but it really does vary a lot. I will instead give you a general guide on how you should pull off team fights as Z. Before every fight begins, you should always consider this. Which enemy has the highest priority? In this clip, Syndra gets called out immediately by Blitzcrank, so I go straight for her, and then immediately when she's dead, I try to aim for the second highest priority target that I can reach, which was Fiddle. He died very quickly as well. And then I head straight for Sivir, who's the third or second highest priority. And this is generally how you want to think of team fighting. Basically, before every fight, you think of the highest priority target, you aim straight for them, and if one of them dies and you die for that, that's fine. That's usually a good trade if you're not the one carrying your team. Now in this clip, I spend most of the fight not actually fighting. I get in a poke or two with Q, but apart from that, I mainly just zone the enemy Aatrox and Vayne, which is another legit strategy, especially if you're not fed enough to be sure that you'll take the enemy high priority down. You can make sure that they're out of the fight. Something that I want to touch on is how you can't stand still in teamfights. When you've initiated into the enemy backline, you have to finish your assassination and keep moving. Zed works a lot like Lee in laning, in that he jumps in and out frequently in fights. You do your burst, you back off, wait for CDs, jump in. Now, sadly, my LOL recorder has crashed, and basically most of my old replays are lost forever. I can't show you a replay where I peel for an AD carry, but I will emphasize how important that can be, because it is one of the three main strategies in teamfights. So to summarize how to teamfight as Z, before every fight, you should consider these three things. Who's the highest priority target on the enemy team? Is it worth for me to die to take them down? Is my AD carry fed enough to carry by himself? And then you base your team fighting around your answer to those questions. Note that I say base your team fighting around those questions, because obviously things might change in the heat of battle, but you get a general idea of what you should do after answering those three questions. Now, if you'd like to take it one step further, it's really good to ask yourself, what CC do they have? Generally, you want to jump into the fight after the CC is used. Most of the time, you can't jump in after every single CC is used, but you want to ask yourself, what is the main CC I want to avoid? And then initiate after that. So to summarize, ask yourself the three magic questions. Decide if the enemy carries are worth dying for, wait for the CC, and then slice their throats. Now, before I leave, I'd like to address the people who have been sending messages to me telling me not to reveal the secrets of Zed. To those people, I only have one thing to say.
Secrets kept are weapons wasted.
See you next week. Class dismissed.